He's grinding 12-hour shifts just to afford the apartment she insisted on. He's canceled 3 weekend trips with his friends because she wanted him available. He's sitting at her sister's birthday party, pretending to be engaged, while the game he's been waiting all week to watch is happening without him. His bank account is shrinking. His free time has evaporated. His personal goals are pushed to the sidelines, all in the name of accommodating her preferences and priorities. Ask him about it, and he'll tell you he's happy to make those sacrifices. He'll say, "That's what love is about." Ask her, and she'll insist their relationship is based on equality and partnership. Both of them believe they're living in balance. But beneath that comforting illusion lies one of the most fundamental truths about modern romance. Men consistently lose more than they gain in relationships, while women consistently gain more than they lose. This isn't an accident. It's not a coincidence. And it's not about men being weak or women being manipulative. It's simply the mathematical reality of how attraction, status, and relationship dynamics work in the real world. Today, I'm going to break this down step by step. Why this imbalance exists, why it's actually necessary for relationships to function, and most importantly, how men can manage these losses strategically so they stop bleeding resources unconsciously and start investing with purpose. Because understanding these dynamics isn't about becoming bitter, it's about becoming smarter. To understand why men endure losses that women rarely acknowledge, we need to look at what I call the upward mobility imperative. This is the psychological drive that compels women to seek partners who improve their circumstances, men who elevate their lifestyle, increase their security, enhance their social status, or give them access to resources and experiences they couldn't reach on their own. And here's the key. This isn't usually a conscious calculation. Most women don't sit down with a checklist and say, "I'll only date a man who makes more money than me." It's an unconscious program built deep into attraction itself. That's why women are often drawn to older men, men with established careers, men with financial stability, or men with strong social influence. It's not that they're all shallow or greedy, it's that their attraction circuits are wired to seek improvement. This imperative creates what I call the enhancement expectation, the assumption that relationships should deliver tangible benefits beyond emotional connection. Sure, she may genuinely love her partner, but she also expects her life to get better by being with him. Better housing, better experiences, better financial stability, better social opportunities. And this is why women often lose attraction when a man's status declines or when he stops elevating her circumstances. It's not necessarily because she's materialistic. It's because her fundamental relationship programming rejects stagnation. If women are programmed to seek improvement, then men who attract them must provide that improvement. And this always comes at a cost. That cost is what I call the value transfer protocol. The systematic process by which resources, time, and benefits flow primarily from men to women in romantic relationships. This transfer happens in several ways. Financial transfers. Men pay for dates, pick up larger portions of shared expenses, fund lifestyle upgrades, and often provide economic security. Time transfers. Men adjust their schedules to fit her needs, attend her social events, and sacrifice personal leisure to maintain the relationship. Opportunity transfers. Men decline trips, career moves, or social opportunities to remain available for the relationship. Energy transfers. Men invest emotional labor, listening, problem-solving, providing validation, and absorbing her stress. Lifestyle elevation transfers. Men give women access to better housing, better experiences, or better social circles, things she couldn't obtain independently. This protocol is so normalized that it becomes invisible. Men see it as love. Women see it as natural. Neither side recognizes the systematic imbalance. Even when sacrifices are obvious, they're disguised through justification mechanisms. When a man pays for dinner, it's generosity, not transfer. When he drops his career plans to follow her preferences, it's compromise, not sacrifice. When he provides constant emotional support but receives little in return, it's partnership, not imbalance. This brings us to what I call investment asymmetry reality, the undeniable fact that men invest more into relationships than they receive back. Men spend more money, men give more time, men sacrifice more opportunities, men pour more emotional energy into maintaining stability. Women do invest, but the exchange rate is not equal. For example, when a man funds lifestyle upgrades, the return is often emotional affection or companionship, things that don't match the real cost of his investment. This creates the reciprocation illusion, the belief that the exchange is equal, when in reality, it's systematically tilted. And the truth becomes crystal clear when relationships end. Men often lose financially through divorce or breakup costs. Men lose socially as shared friends and communities drift toward her. Men lose practically, often moving out and starting over. Meanwhile, women frequently walk away with improved finances, expanded social circles, and experiences paid for by their ex. The economics of relationships can also be explained with what I call the consumption versus production matrix. In simple terms, relationships function like resource allocation systems, where women typically consume more than they produce. This doesn't mean women are bad. It means their attraction is based on improvement. They expect to gain more from a relationship than they put in. Better lifestyle, more experiences, stronger security. And when the opposite happens, when a woman has to consistently provide more than she receives, her attraction plummets. She begins to resent the man. Why? Because it violates her programming. Relationships should elevate her, not drain her. This is why relationships often collapse when a man stops providing value. It's not personal, it's structural. And the system disguises this consumption as mutual exchange. When she gets financial support, it's called partnership. When she consumes more emotional energy, it's called relationship maintenance. So if losses are inevitable, the question isn't how to avoid them, it's how to manage them strategically. That's where the strategic sacrifice framework comes in. This framework says every relationship cost must serve a purpose. Sacrifices are only smart when they align with your goals. If your goal is casual companionship, your investments should stay small. If your goal is family creation, bigger sacrifices might make sense. The key is the ROI reality check. Are your sacrifices producing returns that justify them? Or are you investing at family level into someone who's only giving you casual companionship? This is where most men fail. They invest blindly, giving everything without boundaries. To avoid that trap, you need what I call the acceptable loss doctrine. This is a personal system that defines what you're willing to sacrifice, what you refuse to sacrifice, and what sacrifices are sustainable long-term. It works like military strategy. Some battles are worth heavy costs because the objective is crucial. Other battles should never be fought because the losses outweigh the benefits. For example, if your objective is building a family with a high-quality partner, heavy sacrifices can make sense. If your objective is casual dating, heavy sacrifices are insanity. And here's the most important rule. Never make sacrifices you cannot sustain. What feels romantic in the honeymoon phase often becomes resentment later. Sometimes, the best move is strategic withdrawal, pulling back investment to test the relationship. Overinvestment creates entitlement. She stops appreciating what you give. By reducing investment, you can reset the balance. If she truly values you, she'll adapt. If the relationship was built only on resource extraction, it will collapse. Either way, you win clarity. So here's the truth. Losses in relationships will always exist. but they don't have to be unconscious, unlimited, or destructive. Smart men accept the costs, but they manage them strategically. They invest with purpose. They enforce boundaries. They diversify their lives. And they only commit heavily when the returns justify it. Your success in relationships isn't measured by how much you're willing to sacrifice. It's measured by how strategically you invest. That's the difference between being a strategic partner and being a resource extraction victim. Choose your battles, define your boundaries, invest with purpose, and your future self will thank you.